have a cat named Artemis that this character is totally based on. And in the show, I figure Mim just has a small obsession with Greek mythology, just like me, and that's why.
Kind of more of a broad question. What was kind of your inspiration to create this play?
Well, actually, originally my idea had nothing to do with ghosts. It was just about, what would it be like if somebody grew up never knowing what the outside world is like and lived in this house where, like, everyone lived in, like, a different time era. And, I, like, imagined this big house in the middle of nowhere with a bunch of rooms. And then from there I was like, well, we can make it more interesting than that.
Now, what was the process from when you first started until you figured it was done? Time-wise.
Well, I came up with the idea, and then I wrote this really, really elaborate backstory of, like, the history of how the house started, and how Artemis came to the house, and how everything was going to lead up to the beginning of the show. And then I made, like, a map of, like, what I wanted to happen in the story, and, like, where the songs might go, and then just kind of put it together piece by piece.
New Marguerite.
Oh, yes. Our original Marguerite in your programs, who taped the show for us today, just wanted to make sure that you guys knew that, unfortunately, she lost her voice, and we had our ensemble member, Angelica McGrew, step up 2 weeks ago. Listening to her read and sing today, but she literally learned that part in 2 days. So.
There she is. Yay!
Yes. The first song that I wrote for this show was the second song that you hear, the one Artemis sings, Tell Me Why. And the last one was for you to sing.
You feel like it played out the way you wanted it to, and overall?
Yeah, I'm really happy with, kind of what came together.
Ghosts.
Yeah, I mean, it came to life really great, and there was things that I didn't expect to get laughs that did, and things that I did that didn't, but overall, the reaction was exactly what I was hoping for, and the cast was everything I dreamed and more, so.
How did you come up with Edward and Othniel?
They're real. I knew that I wanted at least 2 real historical figures in my show, so I looked for the most ridiculous ones I could find. And there actually is something called the Bone Wars. Everything you hear about them in the show is true. They had this big feud while they were both discovering dinosaur bones at the same time, and they, like, slandered each other and completely ruined each other's lives and literally died destroyed pretty much. But, it was over dinosaur bones, and I thought that was really funny. So.
How do you know when you're done writing a musical?
You're never done writing a musical. Your first draft is finished when the script is done and the songs are all written, and I record the songs as I write them. And then I do the sheet music a long time later, and sometimes you don't finish the sheet music ever. I finished the sheet music about a week after we started rehearsals, so.
Does it worry you that people might think this is about your life?
Yes, I was thinking that right now as we were doing the show. I was like, are people going to think that I'm, like, crazy and I have ghosts talking to me telling me to kill myself?
Don't do it!
I think you put a little bit of yourself and your emotions and your life into everything that you write when you're, the creative type. And when you're an actor, you put a little bit of yourself into who you play. And I figure people kind of understand that and won't think I'm some kind of shut-in who thinks words are hard. And
Wait.
What age was Artemis?
Artemis was in her early 20s. So, older than, a teenager or somebody who wouldn't necessarily have left home yet, but not so old that her life passed her by. Not to say that people who are older had their life passed them by. I just mean that the amount of time she spent in the house was not like her whole life.
Words are hard.
Marguerite really didn't get her ultimate revenge. Will there be a part 2?
You know, if there was a part 2, I mean, I've had like several like mini scenes play out in my head of Artemis trying to adjust to the real world and Logan being like, no, we don't do that. So if there's a part 2, I feel like that would be more fun to write.
Do it. What's amazing is that not only did she write the book, the words, she wrote the songs, and then she did the music as well. And, you know, that's so unusual. In this world, there are some, when you look at a musical on Broadway, you will see sometimes 3 people that are the creators: the book, the music, and the lyrics. And she did all 3. Then she coached these. I did nothing on this show. I mean, my name's on the program, but you can scratch that out. She coached these actors on their characterizations, and then she costumed them, I'm assuming.
Well, I have to give credit where credit is due here. The costumes you see, this is them. I was gonna have them wearing all black, and then, you know, Julia comes to me and she's like, you know, I have the 50s dress. And then, you know, from then it kind of snowballed, and I was like, okay, we'll do costumes. And then I didn't music direct it myself either. Nicole has been amazing helping with listening. Things together, and then, you know, we pulled Josh in like a week before the show, and I was like, hey, so we can learn like, you know, 20 songs right now. So yeah, I just like a huge labor of love from everyone, a ton of work from everyone, like helping out to make it what you saw today.
Any other questions for you all? Yes, sir.
Can we expect to see anything else in the future?
Speaking of,
I brought flyers. I have another show opening in a month at TheaterWorks, and it's a choose-your-own-adventure musical. I don't know if you're familiar with the books where you get to like a certain juncture, and it's like, if you choose this, turn to page X. If you choose this, turn to page Y. And so I made a musical kind of in that style where the audience controls the plot, and it's going to be a lot of fun. And several of the people involved in this show are doing double duty in there in that one too. So if you would like a flyer, I have a whole big stack of them here, and you can totally come get one from me and come see us and possibly get interacted with in that one. So yeah, that's on March 6th, 7th, and 8th.
anything else that you want to say?
I have one question for you guys. This is going to drive me crazy if I don't know. Can you just raise your hand if you knew they were all dead before Jake was like, I'm dead?
Well, we don't count because we were.
You already knew.
So it was like,
It was surprising.
it wasn't until Jake said I'm dead that you were like, what, the ghosts?
It was very shocking.
Well, thank you again, Jamie, for pestering me and for showing us this phenomenal cast.
Thank you all for coming, and thank